because I don't want to keep you guys on here very long. Bachelor in Paradise is on. No, just kidding. All right, so let me go over a couple announcements really quick because there's a lot of new stuff coming out. So Super Saturday, Sierra, you've been to one. Allison, you never have. They're super cool. They're like these smaller events that happen all over the country quarterly within the company. And basically you go and you get to learn about new products coming out. There's typically a live workout, which is also pretty cool. I don't know. There's just a really neat energy when you're in a room with a bunch of people doing the same workout. So I haven't looked around Charlotte for you, but you can basically just Google Charlotte Super Saturday. There's a link in our team page for the Super Saturday. I can tag you in, but you can find one in your area and go, or one similar, like slightly close to you. That weekend is going to be the 22nd, 23rd, I believe. Sometimes they're on Fridays, sometimes they're on Saturdays, sometimes I think even Sunday. But it's just a really, really, really good thing to go to. I mean, once you go to an event, I feel like you really grasp kind of how special. Hey, Mackenzie. I feel like you kind of grasp what is really truly behind this company, and I feel like that's a really important thing. So I was just saying about Super Saturday, Mackenzie. There are these quarterly events within the company. There's one in Morgantown, I think, because I went to one in Morgantown, but the one in Pittsburgh is just badass. It's run by the top coach in the company. Typically, there's a celebrity trainer there because it's a huge Super Saturday. So there's typically like a celebrity trainer. You'll get a photo op. Carl, the CEO, is actually going to be at my Super Saturday in Jacksonville. So if anybody wants to road trip, you're more than welcome. So that's going to be the 22nd, 23rd. Just kind of Google that. Go to your FAQ. Check that out. Next thing is the All Access is here to stay through September. So very exciting special of the 160 is not leaving us yet. I don't know when it will leave us. Unfortunately, it will eventually, just because our company has to make some kind of money. Because if you think about 160 for that value is so insane. But I remember when it first came out, it was only $199, and people were still buying that like that. Just because as long as we're explaining the value in it, there's no reason anyone should be upset about the 160 going away. And as long as we're not blasting that all over the internet, you know, whatever we say whenever that special goes away, that's how valuable it is, if that makes sense. So it is here to stay, though, in September. And then Week of Hard Labor is Sagiz. I don't know if the new girls have ever seen him. It's kind of like the meathead trainer, Sagi. He's hilarious. He is coming out with a 5-day exclusive program on Beachbody On Demand, which is going to be solely focused towards weights. Carl actually just posted today that the first 100,000 streams from Hard Labor we will donate $1 to the American Red Cross. So basically, Beachbody is going to donate up to $100,000 to the American Red Cross, as long as we have 100,000 streams on the week that it comes out, which it comes out September 5th. So that's pretty cool. Typically, we give back in a lot of ways, but that's a really good thing, like especially if we're bringing on new people right now. For example, my challenge group starting on the 4th, but it's not kicking off with the workouts until the 11th. So I'm going to really like encourage my new challengers to check out Week of Hard Labor. There's only 5 workouts while they're kind of getting ready to start their new program. So definitely something to put out there. Definitely something to get people's foot in the door. And Clean Week is also coming up. That's with our new celebrity trainer. And by the way, guys, you can find all of this in your Coach Online office under Coach Breaking News. I just wanted to kind of refresh us a little bit that this is what's coming. This is when they told us about this at Summit. This is with our new trainer, Megan Davies. She was chosen on, we had like a Beachbody reality show to choose a new trainer, which was really cool. She's basically coming out with like a week like we make. Like, you know, have you ever seen a coach make a clean eating group? That's basically what this is going to be on Beachbody On Demand, but it's going to come with really simple, straightforward workouts. Like a very, very, very basic week of just learning clean eating and learning simple workout moves to kind of like progress you forward. That's going to come out on October 3rd. So we have some new releases each month coming up. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? Okay. All right. So into the nitty gritty, we're going to start with a little bit of a vulnerable moment, if you will. So I was thinking today, because in Misfit Legion, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of us have been posting daily with some Success Club tips. We're actually doing a kind of like a push to Success Club, posting our most valuable tips daily. And I was thinking about it because I've been in a place before where I'm like, crap, I haven't hit my goal yet. I haven't hit Success Club yet. I haven't helped anyone yet this month. I haven't done exactly what I wanted to do yet this month. I want to help more. And it's crazy how for a second, if you have a shadow of a doubt that you can't do what you set your mind to do, you literally will not do it. So I just want all of us to just let it out right now. Do you have any doubt in your mind that whatever goal you're working towards right now, or whatever fear you're trying to overcome right now, you won't overcome or you won't achieve? Raise your hand. Okay. So glad we got that out of the way. Totally normal. Totally why we come together as a team and we totally overcome that shit. All right. Next vulnerable moment. Where did I put it? Okay. Raise your hand if you're afraid that messaging someone or posting what you want to post is going to bring judgment, or you're going to feel like you're selling. Awesome. Great. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, I hope everybody feels better, and I cannot wait to help you feel different, because honestly, you guys, I've hit Success Club in a day before. I've helped 2 people in a day before. There's tons of things that can happen whenever you just believe that they will. And, you know, no matter what goal you're pushing for, I always use this analogy because I played basketball in high school. I know you did too, Mackenzie. As long as you give it your all, if you win or lose, it's a lot easier to lose when you feel like you played hard and you didn't feel like you just gave up at halftime. It's a lot easier to lose when you push and you give it everything that you have and you believe until the clock says 0 that you can win that game. So I want you guys to have that mindset in these next 2.5 days, because, you know, whether you're just trying to help one person or you're trying to lock in Success Club, you're trying to become more consistent, whatever the case may be, you can do that as long as you believe that you can do that until the clock says 0, okay? All right, so first thing I want to go over is sharing on social media. I posted a little bit about this today in Misfit Legion, but I think sometimes we forget that we have to let people know that they can contact us, that we're actually here to help them. So a lot of times, like, I'll even catch myself, I'm just so wrapped up in like posting that I forget to say like, hey, you can reach out to me. I'm available. Like, I can actually help you. I'm not just on this journey, but I'm on this journey to help you be on your own journey. So it shouldn't be in every single post. I definitely don't believe in that, because that gets a little tacky. But there is a way to really just slide it in there. And what I typically do is use like the little phone mail emoji, or say like link is in bio on my Instagram, things like that for like an email or a way to get a hold of you through a form. But just remember, as we're posting these next couple days and in the future, that if your goal is to earn Success Club and fill a challenge group, then your social media has to mirror that. So are they aligning with your goals? Are you only posting right now about something that has nothing to do with your fitness journey in a challenge group? And in your post, are you telling people, here's how to get a hold of me, here's how I can help you, here's what I want to talk to you about? And the next thing is like, I forget, I think Elizabeth Harkey said this one time. She's an amazing, amazing, successful coach. But she was like, we can't forget to tell people that we know where they're at right now. Because even though we, you know, are kind of progressing, literally tell someone, I know how you feel. I've been there. I get it. Because when you do that, you're opening up yourself to let them know, like, hey, like, I'm no better than you. I just know how to help you now because I was helped. So that's just a couple things to think about when you go into posting on your social media and you're inviting someone to a challenge group. What is your wordage like? Are you sharing stuff that's very surface level, or are you sharing stuff that is really about what you're internally going through? So a lot of times, like, the external, yeah, that's what someone's going to see. And if we are growing in any way internally, it's probably going to show externally through these programs. But don't make everything about the 20-minute workouts and the portion control system and the Shakeology. How is all that stuff making you feel on the inside? How did your workout make you feel today? Right? Like, how did eating good, and you can even talk about how going for this first business goal makes you feel. It probably makes you feel empowered. I know that's how I feel every single time I set my mind to something and I achieve it. It's another moment where I can just be like, that feels really good. And I love living a life like that. I don't want to live a life where I'm just sitting and stale and not moving forward. So are your posts talking about what is on the surface and kind of like the logic, or is it getting into the heart of what you're doing and how it's making you feel and how it can make somebody else feel? Whenever you're posting about a challenge group, so this is something to really remember as well. I don't ever say the word challenge group. I don't ever say it's for Shift Shop and it'll include Shakeology, just typically because so many people either have a bad taste in their mouth about Shakeology, or they don't understand what the word challenge group even means. So really the way, and this is just the way I personally like to sometimes describe it, it's like my online fit fam, a virtual accountability group. You can even say that the group is technically free because it just comes with the challenge pack, and I'll get to that when it comes to conversations. So, and I'm just going to keep going back to my post today because it's the most relevant, but I kept it very short and sweet with what would be included and how I basically got to where I am. So it's the tools that I can provide them with. And that's the way I look at it, is like, I have the answers and here's what they are. This is what has helped me and this is what I can give to you. So daily doable workouts, doing them from wherever you need at whatever time you need. And that's just a little more like relatable for someone than like, online workouts. They might not understand what that means. Or Shakeology. Maybe somebody hasn't ever heard of Shakeology. I like to say like my superfood smoothie or something like that. And I actually say smoothie now because I just feel like that's just so much more appealing because we blend it and it's so freaking good. So to me, it is a smoothie. And then, my nutrition, easy to learn nutrition, portion control nutrition, where I'm going to provide recipes and meal plans. Guys, feel confident about that because you have all of that. If you're worried about what you're going to give someone, it's already done for us. It's on Beachbody On Demand. It's in the blog. It's in the nutrition guide. Feel confident about what you're supplying these people with. Okay. And then, create a sense of urgency. So I will typically say like it's filling up fast, or we only have 5 spots. So, message me today to learn more. I like to say learn more or for details, just because it kind of takes that pressure off. People are no longer like, oh my gosh, if I message her, then I have to do this. But if they're just messaging me to learn more, that takes that pressure off a little bit. So it's always about just opening the door. No sell is going to come from a social media post. No sell is going to come from one message. And that's why you should not feel like salesmen, because we are not selling anybody. We are literally coaching them. The work does not start until they have even bought that challenge pack. And I don't know if you guys have ever been sold to, but once you've been sold to, you're free to go. Like somebody check marks your name and they're moving on to the next person. Okay, so, and I'll get to more of that. So reaching out to people that like your posts, or reaching out to people that you've been talking to or you don't know. And guys, this is all typically stuff I'm doing daily, but when it is push time, this is when I'm focusing everything on. And that's kind of why I wanted to create this call tonight, because I feel like we'll get lost sometimes in like busy stuff. And when you're trying to reach a goal, just like do the things that will help you reach that goal. Don't worry about the other stuff. Focus on, are my actions aligning with what I want to achieve? Is my mindset aligning? Is my social media aligning? Are my actions aligning? So when you reach out to those people, assume every single person is interested. So I know that's kind of like a weird, maybe like mental thing, But I never send a message and think, oh my God, she's probably going to say no, because she probably will. Okay. Like, we have to have that confidence. And that comes back to feeling like you're a salesman when you pop into the inbox. That comes back to, you have to build your trust and your integrity within what you're doing and your belief to stop feeling that way. You have to become connected to your transformation. I don't care if it's been over the last 2 weeks or the last 2 years. The moment I'm not connected to what this opportunity has given to me, I step away from my inbox because I don't need to be in there. I am not serving anyone if I am not coming with the heart that is completely transformed. So if you're feeling that way, which trust me, I felt that way. I sometimes feel that way. If you're feeling that way, and we all are, readjust your thinking. That's it. Readjust your perspective. Where would you be right now if these programs didn't exist? Where would you be if maybe I had never reached out to you, or you'd never seen me on social media, or whatever? What would your life look like? Mine would look really shitty. And I don't necessarily believe that everybody needs this, or everybody, well, actually, I do believe everybody needs Shakeology. I totally believe that. But I believe we have a solution for every problem with the business, or with nutrition, community, health, fitness, mindset, perspective. This brings all of that. So when you feel like you're selling or you're afraid of judgment, remind yourself what your life would look like had somebody never reached out to you. And then remember, by keeping that in our mouths, we're totally being such bitches. Okay? There's this coach that she's like, always like, hashtag don't be a bitch, hit send. Write that down somewhere. Put that somewhere where you can see it every day, because you're totally robbing someone of the opportunity to change their life in every way by not messaging them and just saying like, hey, okay? So assume everyone's going to be interested. And when you reach out, remember, it's just about putting your foot in the door. But I'm going to help you kind of navigate towards that ultimate, like, what they truly need, okay? So when someone likes one of my posts, I just sent out a bunch of messages before we started this call. I'm going to typically be like, hey girl, like, thank you so much for liking my post. I really, really appreciate the love and the following. I was just wondering if you were working on any goals right now too. Super simple, points the conversation to fitness immediately. So that's where it's like you kind of begin to ask questions that are going to give you a chance to talk about what you want to talk about. That way, as soon as we message people, we're not just like blabbing all of this amazing stuff on them, because even though it's amazing and even though it's valuable, they might not see it as valuable for themselves because they don't see it a way that it's going to solve a problem for them. So if someone's saying, yeah, I'm working on some goals, or sometimes they don't respond, totally fine. Some people just, let's remind ourselves, they literally don't get on social media like we do, so just don't take offense. Or I'll say, thank you so much. If it was like a challenge group post, thank you so much. I'm just going to extend the invite to the challenge group or to our group in case you were interested. I wasn't sure, but I wanted to make sure before the group filled up. Did you want to learn more? So I always say, like, are you interested in something like that? Would you like to learn more? And I don't waste my time. So there's a difference between like small talk and like making a connection with someone than just kind of like dancing around, just asking them questions and serving them with what we've got to offer. That comes with the confidence that you are not selling, you are helping them navigate their way to something that could really change their lives. So once I do that, I'm going to ask some questions. So what are your goals? This girl tonight was like, yeah, I've been working out these last 9 months, but I'm just really not happy with how it's going. And I'm like, okay, what are you struggling with? So instead of being like, so we have these workouts that are really amazing and this nutrition that really helped me, I said, okay, well, what are you really struggling with? And I actually didn't read what she said, but yeah. But notice how I'm just digging deeper and deeper and deeper. And whenever she says to me, I'm going to say, for example, if she says, I'm just like, I struggle with nutrition really bad, I'm going to be like, I did too. I totally know how you feel. That's where I struggled the most. And what really helped me was like totally learning how to just understand what to eat and not just focus on dieting. And I was like, the way I did that was I was a part of this accountability group that laid out all these recipes for me daily, and accountability and the group support really made me want to commit. And once I committed, I really understood the plan. Do you think something like that would help you? So I typically will say that. Do you think that would help you? Is that something you'd be interested in learning more in? So when it comes to, okay, yes, oh my God, I would love to learn about that. Or, maybe no, which is fine. Just be like, okay, like that's awesome. Like I'm always here to help if you have any questions. Or, sometimes I'll just be like, hey, like, do you mind if I ask you for our next group? I know right now isn't a great time, but maybe you'll feel like differently later. And that's not a bad thing to ask, guys. Because honestly, to me, when we're just bouncing around and asking people when it's convenient for us, then that just looks selfish. That's why I literally follow up with the same people 6 months in a row. And they probably expect me to show up in their inbox. And I do, because I'm not just going to like not invite them because I don't need them to join me that month. I'm going to keep inviting people until they say, get the hell out of my inbox, or yes. Because typically there is a deeper reason for people not saying yes. And I'll get to that also. So she's like, yeah, I'm totally interested. I'm going to make great. So right now there is this bundle. And by the way, guys, before I go any further, if you want to see some of this, it's all in our resources album, especially under that conversation thing that I just uploaded. So I'll be like, great, there's this bundle right now. So I never say challenge pack. And I go right into it. Once I know that what we have can solve a problem that she's told me she's having, that's the key. Because if we tell them about all of this and they don't see how it's going to serve them, it's not as valuable. Like it doesn't seem as enticing and exciting because they haven't put them in our shoes yet. So I'm just going to say it's a bundle, and it's this amazing offer that comes with an entire online catalog of workouts, over 600, plus every single nutrition guide that goes with each workout. And sometimes, depending on like what we talked about fitness, I'll be like ranging from like yoga to cardio to weights. If they're like somebody that's like really into fitness, then I'll be like telling them all about all the options. And I'll mention how it comes with every single nutrition guide, which we've already talked about them needing help with. Then I'll explain that it comes with this superfood smoothie, which I've already told them is a huge, huge reason that I've been able for 2.5 years. And again, everybody's Shakeology story is different, but every Shakeology story matters. I have drank it for 2 years, and it's the only thing that's helped me not totally lose myself when it comes to my health. I've never stayed consistent until I was drinking it. It helps my cravings. It helps me have more energy, etc. It comes with a whole month supply of that, the 600 plus workouts, and access to that free accountability group through an app that you can download. That will also come with free recipes, free coaching, free daily motivations. Notice how I say free, because technically it is. And people love the word free, okay? It really is free. That's the thing, is like they're buying all of that, but at the same time, we give them free content. We give them essentially free coaching once they become our customers. So I let them know of like all the stuff that they're going to be provided with. And then I say, yeah, right now I say like, typically that's going to be thousands of dollars to get all of that. But what I can do is bundle it together for you for this group. So that way I kind of attach the bundle to the group. And it's like, they just understand that that all goes together, and that when they become a part of this, they're going to have the access to the group. And typically it would be thousands of dollars, but right now I can bundle it for you for $160. And then I'll just take the weight off and be like, I know that was a lot of information. I just want to check and make sure all of that made sense. And I'll put like a crying, laughing face. Because literally, sometimes people are just like, are you serious? That's a real thing. And I'm like, yes. So always check and see if they have questions or if they understand it. And it's a great way to set up the conversation so that you're ending it with a question. If you ever just say like, let me know, no one's going to let you know because they're not as concerned about this as we are. If you are just, not wording it to where you're asking them a question back, typically every single message, then they might not want to continue the conversation. They're not going to find it as valuable. If someone tells me, no, or maybe I could just tell that it's more so that they're like afraid or they don't want to commit because they've committed to a lot of things before. I'm going to relate to that. The more you can connect to someone through asking them questions, the more valuable your conversation is going to be. And the easier that gets, it gets easier, the more you become more confident in who you are as a coach. And every single person should feel confident in that because we all are capable of helping people. Carl Deichler said something at Summit that just stuck with me so much. He was in this group with like 100 coaches and this girl that was like 300 pounds. She was just now starting her fitness journey. And he was like, one thing that really stood out to me is how she posted that she didn't feel worthy enough to help somebody because she didn't feel like she was where she wanted to be yet. And he was like, every single person in this room can do so much more good than they give themselves credit for. And we just have to understand that. Who you are right now is good enough. You're going to learn a lot and you're going to become an even stronger and more empowered person. But who you are right now is just fine. It's good enough to go out and help other people who just need to feel that somebody is there for them. Okay? All right. So I went over that. Do you guys kind of like feel a lot more confident about conversations? Did that help? You guys, what do you feel like you struggle most with when it comes to chatting with someone in the inbox? Like the first initial message, the invite.
For me, it's probably the Shakeology.
Okay, great. Love that you said that. That I always felt freaked out about because I actually hated Shakeology when I first started. So I had to like come around to it. So I always felt scared about explaining it because I didn't feel like a true lover, even though now I can't live without it. So typically, like, again, it just comes back to like finding out if they struggle with nutrition and really just explaining. This is the way I explain it. So I'll be like, I don't freak them out with a ton of facts because then it just sounds like we're totally selling them, right? Keep it to what you know about it, what you like about it. So for me, it's like it helps with cravings. Well, how do I explain to someone it helps with cravings? So I'm like, listen, when I was in college, I literally had to eat Taco Bell every single week because I craved it every single week. I was like, every meal I wanted was fried. It had cheese all over it, mayonnaise all over it. I was like, and because I kept eating that way, I kept craving those foods. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I craved a French fry now. I craved those foods because I was eating those foods. When you drink Shakeology daily, it's telling your body that you want vitamins and superfoods, and it's equal to 7 salads. So then in turn, you crave healthier, more whole foods. And that's just really helped me stay on track. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Or it's like that natural energy. It's this whole food, superfood blend that has totally changed my cravings, my energy. And it's something that I've incorporated daily to help me reach my goals. Does that help? And I say like a month's worth of that comes with the workout. So it's something we'll incorporate into your eating plan. And then I say, the workouts are going to last you for a year, but you do have the first 30 days to decide if you want to continue your Shakeology or not. So that kind of lets them know, like, okay, I'm not locked into anything. And it also gives us the chance to really make sure they love it, so they want to continue it and convert to a discount coach and get it for a discount. Does that help? Mm-hmm. So just always like think about the consumer and be like, am I pressuring them or am I taking the pressure off? Because there's a difference. Like you can totally go at that with confidence and still be like calm and cool about it, right? Don't worry about it, girl. Like you are not locked in anything. You can cancel at any time. You got a 30-day money back guarantee. I don't typically say that until it's like the last straw. And I also never offer just the all acts or just the workouts or just, you know, I'm always explaining the challenge pack. And the reason that I just feel like that's the best way to go is because if you tell someone, yeah, you can actually do this 3-month plan, or you want people to invest because then they're invested and then they want to do good. They want to like really see their money through. And if Lindsay Matway is like a bajillion-dollar earner in this, she sold her clothes to buy a challenge pack. When you want it, you want it, and we want people to want it. You know, otherwise they're going to be really hard to motivate to get involved. All right. Did that help you guys? I think I covered everything that was on my list. I'm really proud I had a list. And I guess the bottom line, and I always come back to this, is like, you know, get off this call tonight and just reflect on yourself. Just like reflect on how you feel and how you feel about your goals and your journey and your transformation, and stop doubting yourself, because I'm telling you that little slight glimmer of doubt will throw you a bajillion yards off course. That is the hardest part. And that is why it's so many people don't ever get to where they want to go, because it's hard to silence the doubt. It's hard to silence the fear. You are not alone. I still get scared. Trust me. I still, you know, have to rewire myself some days because I'm just not feeling it. Nobody wakes up every day with the rainbows and sunshines blowing out of their brain. But we have the power to change that. And I'm telling you, like, things happen when the universe hears you, and they hear your positivity, and they hear that you believe in yourself, and they hear that you want to reach these goals and that you want to do these things. When you put something out there, it comes back to you. And you never know who that person is going to be that you help. So make a list. Again, this is like that push mode. I make a list of every single person I've talked to, and I talk to them again. I make a list of all of my friends. When I was pushing to earn diamond for a retreat, I literally was freaking the F out. I was about to lose this rank. I had one day to lock it in. And I was like, oh my God, I just don't know what to do. And guess who I thought of? This girl that I went to high school with, hadn't talked to her in a while. One of my good friends though, and I just messaged her. I was like, I know this is really random, but I have this group and I know you kind of follow me, and I just wasn't sure if you would want info on it. And she was like, yes, I have been dying to talk to you. So you just never know. Make a list of every single person that you can think of and ask them. It's not our job to judge whether or not they'd be interested. You have no idea what somebody's going through. I asked this one girl one time that was skinnier than the freaking chair beside me, and she was like, yeah, I'm seriously, like, I just feel awful about myself. And that has nothing to do with size sometimes. You know, it might not always be about weight loss, but she just needed to feel lifted up and proud of herself. So I want you guys to know that, like, that is in your hands. That power to do that for someone is in our hands. And that's amazing. Get excited. Stop doubting yourselves. Take all of this and do something with it. Don't feel like you have to be perfect. Just take action. We're probably going to get cut off. Do you guys have any questions? All right. Awesome. Well, I feel like this was great. Thank you for hopping on. If anybody wants, again, like, post anything in the team page, please do. And let's push for our goals. Let's push to help people. All right. When we push for a scary goal, we're pushed outside of our comfort zones, and we typically reach that person that we may have never reached. And that's what I always remind myself. All right. Love you guys. Good night.
Night.